Welcome, 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 everyone. Welcome, Ene. I'm gonna be calling you in 1 second. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Hello,
Hello,
Ene.
evening. I'm very well, thanks.
How are
Can
you?
you hear me well and see me well?
I can hear you very
Perfect.
well and see you very well too. Is this the same for
Absolutely.
me?
Yes, sir.
Super,
Hi, everyone.
super.
Hello. Good evening.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome, welcome. You know how the twists of life are. As I was getting ready to get onto Instagram Live, the application told me that I didn't have the right version to be able to broadcast. So hence a couple minutes late after I
I think
expected to
that's
be here.
called life. That's life.
It is life. It definitely is life. Welcome, 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 everyone. So I don't know if you follow sports at all. I follow sport, but I'm not very close to the sport I'm going to talk about. But I was absolutely shocked to see Great Britain, England, sorry, not Great Britain, England, lose so badly to the French rugby
Well,
team on the weekend.
it gets even worse than that. My husband was there. My husband actually went to Twickenham to watch the game. He was there live and
Oh,
direct
he did.
physically. Oh, yes.
Oh my, oh my. I guess he likes rugby or he likes sports in general. Hello, Turia. Hello, everyone. Welcome, welcome.
Yeah, I think he likes sports in general.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I was just surprised. Good for the French. Sometimes it is the British who beat them badly, but it happens. That's what sport is about. That's what life is about. Sometimes you
Absolutely.
win, sometimes you lose.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So
The
do you
only
do you
sport I
practice any
practice is
sports?
running my mouth. My mouth.
That's an excellent sport. That's an excellent sport. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll start in 1 minute. We have a fabulous guest tonight, and thank you for being with us. But yeah, running your mouth
No,
is a
thank
good
you. Thank
sport.
you for having me. I've been looking forward to this for quite a while. Thank you for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
Yeah, it is wonderful to have you. And we have a couple of people who are here who've been previous guests, and we're honored for you to come and spend the time. So I am a sport fanatic, and I think that's one of the points that we have in common with your husband. He introduced me to a few people in basketball, and I am very grateful. But I'm particularly fanatic about basketball, and I think there's lots of lessons of management and leadership that can be taken from specifically the NBA at the
Yeah.
moment in what
So
they're doing.
I don't
Uh,
know if you know, but I have two sons, and both are very sporty. They both played football and rugby at school. So I spent many
yeah,
years of my life as a mom who literally just seemed to do nothing but ferry boys from one sport to another. And I got to be on the sidelines of way too many matches than I really care to recall. Um, but it was one of
yeah.
the best times of my life. So I have no regrets.
Excellent. That is a duty of mothers very often, but sometimes fathers, but most of the time it is mothers who go back and forth to take the
Mm,
children to their sports,
mm.
etc. Let's get let's get started. I want to just thank my cousin, Pasha and Umi, for letting me use their studio. The light is absolutely perfect, and I'm so glad to welcome you here. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Acosphere Instagram Live. We've got a great surprise for you tonight. You're going to like and enjoy this conversation. Ene Obi is an international and TEDx speaker, executive coach, and best-selling author who specializes in helping professional women seeking deeper personal fulfillment create a life and a business with more meaning, impact, and significance. For almost 3 decades, Ene had a successful corporate human resources career as global organizations including Visa, HSBC, AstraZeneca, and Goldman Sachs. I will say no more. I'll let her tell her story. It is more interesting when it comes from the horse's mouth, I think is the expression. So Ene, welcome to Acosphere Instagram
Good
Live.
evening. Thank you for having me once again. And hello, everybody. I see lots of people joining. Hi there. Hello. Thank you. Thank you. It's really wonderful to be here, Gilles. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, thank you for being with us. So let's get right into it. Please, Ene, you are a speaker. You are an executive coach, a best-selling author. You specialize in helping women who are seeking a deeper personal meaning to their lives and fulfillment.
Yeah.
What is your story?
What's my story? My story is about a girl who became a woman and the end. I joke. My story is about reinventing ourselves and becoming more perhaps than we have ever dared to believe that we could be. So you mentioned already, Gilles, I had a good career. I had what many would call great jobs, working in some of the most recognizable global organizations, Visa, HSBC, Goldman Sachs. And life was good. I liked my life. After a while, I realized I stopped loving my life. I was simply living my life because I was doing all that I knew how to do. And there was something burning deep within me that told me that there had got to be more to my life than what I was living, what I was allowing myself to experience. See, many of us experience a moment in our lives when we know that after that thing happens, life will never, ever be the same again. And I wonder how many people who are with us today have ever been at a point like that in their life, when they know their turning point and life will never be the same again. That's exactly right. Thank you. And so that's what happened to me on the 29th of January 2020, completely unrelated to COVID. When I sat in a small meeting room at work and I was being given the rollicking of my life, if you like, by a very, very senior business leader who did not like a decision that me and my team had made. And he unleashed his venom, his anger on me because I was leading the team in this meeting. And he came, I have to say, as an angel disguised as an enemy. Because as I sat listening to him unleash his anger, the walls of this small room started to vibrate. And my hands were shaking. The walls were closing in on me and beads of sweat literally started to drip down my face. I had to hold on to the edges of the table to steady myself as his voice boomed in my ears, his anger, his venom, literally assault in my ears. And I remember at one point my mouth opened. I couldn't have trusted what would have come out. But all of a sudden my mouth closed again. My hands steadied and I could let go of the table. And I heard two very quiet words in my head. And those two words were, not today. And in an instant, I knew that I had to wake up and live, truly live. See, sometimes we tiptoe through life like we're trying not to wake anyone up, when in fact it is us who are sleeping. So we think small, we act small, we play it safe, or worse, we don't even play at all. So after I heard those two words, I got up, I gathered myself, I packed up my stuff, and I left. And never went back.
Wow.
Let me make it clear before I stop talking, Gilles. I'm not asking anybody to walk away from their job. I'm telling my story.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let me tell the francophones, if there is anybody who wants some translation, let me know. Pour les francophones, c'est un interview en anglais. Si vous souhaitez que je traduise, je le ferai avec plaisir. Il vous suffit d'écrire et de me le dire, et je le ferai avec grand plaisir. One of our friends, Valerie, says, when it's time, it's time. It's time to fly. Hey, Valerie. Hi. We're both happy to see you. So what does success look like for you and for your clients?
Look like for me and my clients? Success for me and my clients, Gilles, is not an end point. There is no destination. There's no end game. Success actually comes from realizing that we're meant for more. Success comes from beginning the journey of self-awareness, to begin to explore all of who we are, begin to explore our many, many often hidden gifts and talents and skills and abilities, and then using them to create a life that's beyond anything we have ever allowed ourselves to do. Success is all about creating a life of meaning, of impact, of fulfillment, of significance, of sharing our experiences with the world, so that when we go to bed at night, we know that we've done the best with 24 hours that we've had. That's what success looks like for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are all in for a treat. It is just a beauty to see such a great speaker, a storyteller in front of me. And I praise you for that, Ene. And I love the way you are expressing what success means to you. Thank you for that. Why do you do what you do, the way you do it? And what can we all learn, the world learn from?
First of all, let me say I see the hearts. Thank you all so much. Thank you so much. Why do I do what I do? It's really simple. It's really simple, Gilles. I'm not sure if you've heard of the quote by Rumi. It says, whatever you are seeking is also seeking you. I actually heard a clarification of that quote yesterday, which is a direct translation from Persian, which is apparently how he actually said it, which is, you are what you seek. You are what you seek. Why is this so powerful? Because everything I do in my business, I actually do for me. I am my own first client. I am my own first client. Why? Because I know that I can't possibly be the only one on earth that needs what I need. So I create what I need for me, and then I look for people who need the same thing. I'm on a mission, as I often say, to go back and get the others. Now, you may say to me, who are these others? These others could be professional women who have climbed the corporate ladder, risen the corporate ladder, and they've reached a point where they're now looking at their lives and they're thinking, there's got to be more to my life than what I've done so far, in spite of how great it is. And I'm ready to discover that more. There may be mothers who have raised children. They spent the last 10, 20, 15, whatever years raising a family. And these children have now grown up. Maybe they've left home. And she's now looking at herself and thinking, I seem to recall I used to have dreams. Maybe it's time. Maybe it's time for me to go back and dust them off and be all of who I can be. And I just want to close this question by saying, as one of my mentors famously says, always says, love, hope, and inspiration are like perfume. When you get someone others, you can't help but get someone yourself. So when we share our impact with the world, guess what happens? Comes straight back to us.
So deep and so powerful. Here are some comments of our viewers. And yes, we are what we seek. God gives us the desires of our hearts. Ladies and gentlemen, please feel free to make comments, to just to participate and ask some questions, and I'll take some questions on the fly as you ask them. Hello, welcome Elaine. Good to see you all the way from Portugal. So what defines your brand? What does your brand mean for you in the context of your
Yeah.
work, in
Let
the
me just
context
say
of your
hi to a
life?
couple of my people. Hi, Grace. Hi,
Please
Dr.
do.
Norma. And hello, everybody. Nina. Valerie. I don't want to butcher anyone's name, so please forgive me if I don't say it, if I don't say your name. Kevin, Helga. I just want to say hello to everybody. What defines my brand? I think there are 4 main pillars that describe my brand, Gilles. One is reinvention, which is what we've been talking about. The other is authenticity. It's important when we at this stage in our lives. A lot of us spend so many years of our life, we don't know who we are, and we may be swayed. If we don't know who we are, life will probably tell us who we are. Circumstances will tell us who we are. When we're at this point where we are blessed to be able to really take a look inwards and find who we are, it's so important to be authentic and to be that person, because we're all so amazing. I genuinely believe it. So authenticity is one of our pillars. Reinvention is one of our pillars. Safety is one of our pillars. You may think safety, yes, safety, psychological safety. To actually feel that you are in a safe space to be heard, to voice your opinions, that you matter, and that people want to hear what you have to say. And we don't need to hide beneath cloaks and expectations and what people say we are. We can finally shed all that and just be who we are. And finally, quality and style. We do everything in quality and style anywhere I am, and I have no apologies to make for that.
So your 4 pillars: reinvention, authenticity, safety, and quality and style. Amazing. Very, very powerful. So prior to running your own company, you have had a very successful corporate career in human resources. I've named some of the companies, some of the iconic companies you've worked for. Please talk us through some of your experiences in this area.
I think that there's a lot of synergy, a lot of alignment from human resources to what I do now. And in fact, I know so many coaches who have come from the human resources world. I think it's partly because human resources has a lot of the same qualities that are required in the coaching industry: empathy, effective communication skills, leadership skills, the ability to deliver, the ability to influence, to persuade, the ability to move people to a solution that they may not ordinarily want to buy into. So I think there's a lot of similarities in their enrollment abilities, delivery abilities. So I think there's, as I said, there's natural synergy between human resources and coaching. So now I've been in this world for 3 years. I realized just how much of my prior experience I have brought in with me. And that's really useful. There's also, I have to say though, there's also how do I put this? There's also the pride I think that's the word, the pride and the self-respect that comes from having worked for such great organizations and knowing that you have all that in terms of experience and skills and knowledge to share with people that you work with. So for me, that's something I'm very proud of. I'm very proud of my corporate career, because I think it stands me in good stead for where I am today.
So very proud of your corporate career that has put you in a good space for where you are today, and it is amazing to have that kind of experience and to bring that experience to individuals in the world. So bonjour, Anna. Hello, everyone again, the new people who have just joined us. No apologies being our authentic selves,
Norma.
says Madame Norma. Yeah, thank you. Absolutely, you're right. So how much importance do you put in your approach to the cultural aspect of things?
That's a really great question. So I think culture shapes us. I also think that culture tells a story. And Gilles, you know this, and I'm sure listeners know this. Stories are not always based on fact. Stories are a narrative, an interpretation, and they can be based on beliefs. They can be based on perception. We know how scary perceptions are or can be. So whilst I have a lot of time for culture, I'm very mindful that we don't take culture in its entirety. We don't simply do a lift and shift just because it's culture. That we actually investigate and challenge and prick and see just how valid some of the things that we accept as culture actually are. Example, in some parts of the world, it's culture for young girls not to be given an education. Surely, that's not the kind of culture that we want to buy into anymore, is it? No. No. So I think, yeah, take culture, but challenge, test, and leave behind what doesn't serve us any longer.
Thank you. Take culture, but challenge, test, and leave behind what doesn't serve us any longer. Very, very powerful. And this point you're making about it is culture that we don't send the girls to school. And when you test these girls at the same time as boys, most of the times they're way ahead in their potential, in their intellect, in their capabilities than the boys, and we leave them behind. And yeah, you've said it all. You've said it all. So as we go forward, I will pick up some of the comments of different people. So do you believe that your corporate career was a training ground for your purpose being discovered?
My entire life was a training ground, Gilles. I don't think it was just my corporate experience. Whilst my corporate experience accounts for 30 years of my life, I've been on earth for at least a couple of days more than 30 years, right? So no, I think absolutely my corporate career does play a huge role. But I think my entire life has led me to where I am today. I think even my upbringing from when I was very young has led me to where I am today. So I wouldn't say it's just my corporate role. No, even though that does play a large part. Absolutely.
Thank you. That was a question of one of the speakers. Je répète pour les francophones qui nous rejoignent, si vous souhaitez que je traduise des parties ou l'ensemble de ce qui est dit, n'hésitez pas à m'envoyer un message, sinon je continue en anglais. So I was just saying that if somebody needs a translation, I will do that gladly. So what business anecdotes could you share with us that illustrate your story and illustrate the work that you've been doing?
I just want to say, Gilles, I'm not seeing any of the comments, so I'm going to rely on you, please, to read them out. Actually, I am seeing them. I've just seen one from Valerie. Forgive me.
Yeah.
What business
Okay.
anecdotes can I share? So I'm going to share about a gentleman who I believe, who in my mind is the best corporate leader I had the privilege of working with. At the best corporate organization I had the privilege of working for. The best leader came at the best organization. I don't know if there's any clues there. I don't know. Doesn't really matter. Anyway, something he taught me as an HR, I was the HR lead. He was the head of the organization. The two things he always said to me, every time anything remotely went off piste, anytime anything happened, an initiative we're trying to implement, some leadership activity that didn't go according to plan, even by literally 1%, he would always say to me, Ene, what could we have done better?
Wow.
He taught me to accept responsibility, not to say accepting blame, but accepting responsibility. What could we, even when he had nothing to do with it, he would include himself. What could we have done better? And that really helped me. That's now how I see life. In any situation, what could I have done better? The second thing he taught me, he would always ask me, I would go into his office, we would have meetings. I'm trying to do this. We're trying to do this. I need your help. I need you to push from the top, to pull from the top. Why I push from the bottom? I need you. I'll do the grassroots people. You do this. You do the senior lead. We'll talk. And he would always say to me, so what? Give me the so what. You're giving me the process. We need to do this and you need to do this. And so what? The first time he said that, I thought, what is he on about? But after working with him for a while, I realized that those are very powerful questions. What he was saying is, why? Just tell me why. Sell me a solution. Sell me a reason. Sell me a conviction. Sell me a commitment. Don't sell me a process. I'm not interested in the process. Now, maybe this ties back into the earlier question of a minute ago about my corporate career, because those two questions I apply to my life on a daily basis. So yes, my corporate career has in fact shaped what I do right now.
Taking ownership of the responsibility and challenging the status quo. Why? Where can we go further? Amazing. And it's interesting that you said the best leader you've worked for
Easily.
at the best company that
hands
you worked
down,
for.
by far. Hi,
Fabulous. So there are a couple comments and questions, so I'm just going to put them. Experiences are contributing to who you are for sure. That's coming from Valerie. And that's a transformative leader who includes himself in the successes and failures. Absolutely. Sell me a solution, 100% says. I love this interaction with our public. Thank you for being so active, ladies and gentlemen. Ownership and deep into the why. So that leads me to my next question. We have listeners from Valerie and Sylvie. Hello, Sylvie. Sylvie is in New York. Valerie is in the greater New York area. Tom has just joined from London. We've got people in Portugal, people in Senegal. Hello, Mustafa. We've got people literally around the world. And what sort of advice on the basis of your experience could you share with them that could inspire some of them, or in their for
Absolutely.
their business
Thank
and
you.
their
I just want to
private
call
lives?
out the people in New York. My younger son lives in New York. New York has a very special place in my heart. Always, always, always. I just want to say, hello, New York. Something that I think is absolutely paramount, Gilles, is spending time discovering ourselves, spending time honestly being able to answer the question, who am I? I think that is time well worth it in life. A lot of us, like I said earlier, walk around and we really have never challenged ourselves. And I speak for myself. Hello, as I said, everything I do for me. I spent over 50 years not really knowing who I was. So that's not a statement of judgment, it's a statement of awareness. Spend time honestly knowing who you are. Recognizing that who you are yesterday may not be who you are today. We're constantly evolving and growing, right? So give yourself grace of learning, of relearning. Oh, I like that word, relearning, and maybe even unlearning. And I think a powerful question that we all need to ask ourselves is, what do I want? What do I want? Honestly challenge ourselves. What do I want? What will make a difference to me, to my life? And how can I make a difference in the world? Because I think the best thing about being alive today, especially after the last few years that we have all lived through, is knowing, one, that we're not promised any number of days on earth, but also appreciating the impact that we can make on other people. So I shared before something that one of my mentors always says: love, hope, and inspiration are like perfume. When you spray some on others, you can't help but get some on yourself. I think it's important to spray our knowledge, our impact, our learnings, our skills, our abilities, our gifts on everyone that we possibly can, and just watch it come straight back to us.
I love these parallels that you're using to illustrate what you're saying. Spray that love on everyone and watch it come straight back to us. So New York sends you love back, and at the same time, London is commenting something I didn't even think about. The background of our rooms are identical, says Tom. Are we in the same room? Tom, we're not. But Tom, for asking this question, it's a friend of ours who has an incredible career as well. Tom, I'm coming after you for one of these interviews. I will be calling you. That's so beautiful, Ene. Yeah, it was so beautiful. And thank you, Alina, for making that comment. We live in the season of reinvent, relearn, rejuvenate, be ready, reform, reaching. Beautiful, Valerie. Thank you for sharing that. So the financial world seems in turmoil again. Banks are collapsing in the USA. What's your perspective on what's happening in
Gilles,
the world?
I am very mindful of energy and the energy that I surround myself with, and what I allow myself to absorb, because I think, as we know, as the saying goes, energy flows where energy goes, and once you feed, your focus expands. I don't allow myself to engage in too much news. Honestly, I don't. I take in enough news so that I am knowledgeable, so that I can have an intelligent conversation, but I don't let it get to me. Especially because I'm married to a man who works in the financial services sector, as you know. And my husband is hard pushed to take his eyes out of the Financial Times. And I'm like, don't even put that thing near me, because we can't both afford to be in the same mental space in the same house. Somebody's got to put their head out of it and say, I refuse, I reject it. I will not allow that to become who I am. So I only take enough news to be intelligent enough to converse about it. I don't allow it to get to me. I reject half of the things going on in the world. I'm not involved.
I love that. You know, this is the first time I believe I asked a question about the news, and you're probably going to challenge me and probably Nadia in wondering whether we want to do that as, you know, as an evolution of the questions we ask or not. We don't actually watch the news. We don't actually even have a TV. You know, it doesn't touch you. It's not that we don't care. We do care. But if we, as you said very, very well, if we let it come to us, it can absorb us completely. So thank you for that. Thank you very much. A couple more comments. So yes, be discerning and careful of what you consume in your minds. Agree with you. Thank you, Norma. I mean, this is food also. Anything that we learn, anything that, you know, is, and we're going to be speaking about your book in a minute, anything that we actually read, that we take from the news is food, and it actually becomes us. And it's amazing how we, you know, we read a book and we say the words of the book. It's amazing. So speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, this is the book of Ene. Your Life is a Calling. And I like the subtitle, How to Do You and Live Without Regrets. Tell us about this book. How did it come to life?
You know,
and what
I
is it
said
about?
earlier on that everything I do is really for me. I'm my own first client. I needed to read that book. I needed to read the book, so I wrote the book. It's that simple. I needed to tell typically, most especially professional women like me, like I was, who know that their career or that they're capable of being, who know that they've got dreams. Honestly, I am so passionate about telling these women that if you know, if something is telling you deep down that there's more to your life, it's because there is in fact more to your life. And you owe it to yourself to go and get your more. You owe it to yourself, especially, like I say, after the 2020, 2021, and 2022 that we had. You can't sleep on your dreams. You cannot, it would be a shame to sleep on your dreams. So now is the time to go back, dust off those dreams, and put them front and center of your life.
Now is a time to go back, dust off those dreams, and put them left and center of your life. Beautiful. So many beautiful quotes today. And I wanted to read the book. I haven't yet, but I will, and I will have a conversation with you about it. We need to read those books. We need to read those. But as a successful public speaker with many experiences in public speaking, what tips would you like to give our audience?
Right. So, Gilles, I'm going to be totally transparent. This question is very hard for me. Why? I can do a 3-hour masterclass on this question. Okay. So for me to give you a 30-second answer, you're really challenging me. Well, I just want to say hi to Faith, to Coach Washe. Sorry if I butcher your name. It's a mistake of the head, not of the heart. The heart's in the right place. And to everyone else who's joined, hi, hello there. So I want to share a few tips. The first one is for us to remember, it's not actually about you. It's not about you. I think often our ego tries to make it about us. It's not about you, it's about your audience. Put your audience in the back of your mind, in the front of your mind, in the center of your mind, and get yourself out of the way. It's not about you. I cannot emphasize enough the power of storytelling. A story will illustrate a point in 10 seconds flat, and much quicker, much more effectively, much more powerfully than facts and figures and data ever could. Absolutely, we need data, but a story will make the point and cement it a lot quicker. Learn how to tell powerful stories. Facts tell, so stories connect. Give your audience, this is number 3, give your audience the respect and the gift of researching them. Give them what they want. Bear in mind, what they want may not be what they need. So maybe what I should say is give them what they need. But give them the respect of researching them, knowing who you're speaking to, adjusting your style to suit your audience, and letting them know that they are important. That's number 3. Number 4, engage with your audience. The way you and I have been doing, every couple of minutes, I go back to the chat to say hello, and my son's just joined. Hi there, Carl. Hello. It's
Hello,
important that your audience don't feel that they are in the background, because as we said at the start, it's actually about them. It's not about you. So I like to always go back and say, hey, how are you doing? Connect. And maybe the most important, I don't know, but number 5 of 5, maybe the most important is, before you speak, what identify in your head 3 things: what you want your audience to know, what you want your audience to feel, and what you want your audience to do as a result of having heard you speak. Those are my 5 tips, Gilles.
Fabulous tips, fabulous tips. We will invite you at some stage to co-share some of the training that we do in public speaking. I think our audience will learn a lot from that exchange. There's been quite a few comments from the last question and this one. So create your space and news. Thank you, Grace. Valerie, it can consume you for sure, the news. I think what she was referring. Hey, a must read that your book, ladies and gentlemen, for those who've just arrived, the book of Ene. I hope you can see Your Life is Calling, Ene Obi, and you can find it on Amazon, among other good places. Yes, say Sylvie. I can't sleep on my dreams.
Great.
Every day, Grace, yeah. Every day when you wake up, it is because there is more for you to do, say Valerie. Sylvie, time to go and get or more. Absolutely, Sylvie, thank you. Claps, wonderful, says Anna. Welcome to the newcomers. Is there anything else that has been? Yes, thanks. Thank you, Ene, for your connection with the audience. Absolutely extraordinary. Thank you, Ene. Excellent tips. Your book, Life is Calling. Thank you, thank you, thank you, everyone. So we're getting towards the end of our interaction, our discussion. We wouldn't want it to stop. There are a few more questions, and I'm sure the public might also challenge us with this. Life is Calling. Thank you very much, Alina, for writing the name of the book. And if someone wants to write also, even though you've seen on the internet the name of Ene Obi, please write it so that everybody can see it. So speaking to your younger self, with the knowledge that you currently have, what are 3 essential pieces of advice you'd give yourself, or for the matter, to the younger people listening to this now, or
thank you.
listening to this afterwards?
Can I ask for a cheeky 4? You said 3, but can I get a cheeky 4?
Oh, of course. Of course, please go ahead.
I think I'm going to have 4. The first one is, I've mentioned this already, so maybe this doesn't even count anymore. Honestly, spend time knowing who you are. Spend time getting to know yourself. You may just be surprised that you have discovered the greatest person on earth. Spend time discovering yourself. Spend time being able to answer the question, apart from who am I, which is the self-discovery question, spend time being able to answer the question, what do I want? What do I want? So many people don't actually know what they want. What do I want? And give yourself the grace of that thing changing, because you're evolving. So what you want may well evolve as well. The third is always be learning. Always be learning. Every day is a school day. Be a student of life. And here's something. No matter how old you are, no matter how old you are, remember, you are never too old to learn or too young to teach. One of my sons is on this live with us just now. He knows that he's my biggest coach. He's my coach. He's my son. And number 4, because I asked for a cheeky 4, as you work on your professional development, please do not forget your personal development. Don't allow yourself to sabotage your own growth and your future. You need to work on this so that this can grow as well. Those are my 4 tips, Gilles.
Very, very, very powerful. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you're taking some notes. I'm taking some mental notes, but I'm going to go back and listen to this again and take the time to write it, because these are amazing points you're making. Very simple, but amazing points that we can all learn from. Thank you so much. I particularly enjoyed the one on your son listening, being our coach. This is something that, if I may, Ene, our generation has not necessarily learned. We've learned that somebody is telling us and we're doing. And actually, this is what our children, my children are my coach as well, and Nadia's coach. When our children speak about the generational trauma, and they coach us to stop it. And they're absolutely right. So I found that point particularly powerful, that all of them are just the same. So let's see a couple of comments of people, and it's great to have this interaction, ladies and gentlemen. Keep letting it flow. So excellent, so excellent tips, and with all the passion. I think I may have said that before. Your life is calling. That's a book. Your energy is felt, and awesome. Absolutely, says Valerie. Amen. That person said amen to the first comment, the first tip you made. Spend time discovering yourself. Yes. There is a famous person in the development, in the personal development space that says yes all the time. I forget his name just now, but Harv Hecker, I think is his name. Yeah. Discovering and loving yourself, to know our needs and wishes. This is so sweet. I can't eat dinner. It's wonderful, Grace. Thank you. And it has a real passionate words to share. That is so wonderful. Anna, you're so wonderful too. Thank you very much. Mustafa says, great. Be the student of life. Yeah, this is beautiful. Beautifully said, ladies and gentlemen. Some claps from Sylvie. Let me see. Anna says, Ene has a power in her words. You do. You absolutely do. Somebody that I think is one of the people that inspires you, and you're close to them. I don't want to share something that maybe you don't want to say, but he says, and I love the way he said that, because I was using one of his videos for a storytelling course I was giving yesterday. And he says, you have greatness in you. And this is so, I mean, he says all the things, but I love just that part. And it's so true. So have a teachable spirit. Yes, definitely have a teachable spirit. Thank you so much. Well, this leads us to our last question, which is a couple of questions. What's next on the horizon for you? And please use that time to also give your final takeaway to our audience.
I can't leave without saying hi to Anna. I don't know Anna, but Anna has been so encouraging on this live. So Anna, honestly, thank you for, yeah, thank you all, because you make the conversation richer, and you make it easier for us to give our best, because you're so encouraging. So I just want to say thank you to Valerie, Anna, Grace, Alina, Mustafa, oh God, who have I missed? I don't want to offend anybody.
No, there's so many
If
people.
I call everybody out,
This
we'll
live.
be here till next year. But everybody, thank you so much. So what's next on the horizon for me,
Yeah, thank
Gilles,
you
was
very
your
much.
question. Honestly, I am allowing myself to be guided, to be led. Right now, I run mainly events for women. I run this, what I call safe space events. That's one of the 4 pillars I talked about earlier on. I run retreats and workshops for women to come together and rediscover themselves, and then create this next chapter, what I call the next chapter of their life, so that they can go and be, and they can feel the passion and the fulfillment and the satisfaction and the significance that I feel every day, because really that's what they want, to just know that they're making a difference, not just in their life, but in the lives of other people as well. So that's what I do. I want to say that I tend not to focus on the destination, which is why I said to you earlier on, there's no actual place for success. Success is taking the journey, because as the famous saying goes, don't worry about the promised pot of gold at the destination. The journey is paved with diamonds. So just having everybody on this call today, for me, has literally made my day. Thank you.
Amazing and so powerful. Thank you. Thank you very much. It's been just an amazing pleasure. I am going to go back to some of the comments that people have made. Amazing. And you bring it out of people. And, you know, we are so grateful to you today. And through you, I'm thanking all the speakers that we've had here and the future speakers, because Nadia and I are just students of who you are. I was going to say earlier, you spoke about learning. And I was listening again to a video of one of the speakers that we've had here. His name is Vuzi Thembekwayo. He's from South Africa, and he was saying, "I'm a teachable person. You know, it's so important for him to be teachable, and we are, and we learn to be more so if you know our mind and hearts are poised for that. So it's reverse mentoring. I think Valerie was speaking about our children." And I'm sure she's getting a few things from her wonderful son. Know yourself. What do you want? Learn every day. Work on both professional and personal. Yeah, that's what you said. And thank you for summarizing so well, Valerie. And for everybody who's doing that, that's helpful for everyone. Know you, do you, be you. Beautiful. GPR8. I don't know your name, but it's a beautiful summary. Anna, thanks, Acosphere, because you always tell us the truth when you say there is wonderful guests. Thank you very much. Thank you so much, Anna. She is amazing. She's an amazing.
Gilles, I'm not sure who wrote about know you, be you, do you, but those are actually the chapters of my book. As know, know you, be you, love you, and do you are the four chapters of my book. So I don't know who wrote that, but thank you.
Perfect. Yeah. So thank you both, says Faith. Beautiful people, beautiful people. Always tell yourself the truth. Again, that same person. Maybe some quotes of your book or the quotes, but thank you. Great session. Thank you both. Thank you, Ene. From the bottom of my heart, you are so passionate, and that touches me so much. Success is a journey, and the process is the reward. Your passion is palpable and contagious. Your words so powerful, say Sylvie. Thank you, Sylvie. Thank you, everyone. Grace Hearts, you are a wonderful diamond of life, like Nadia and Gilles. And oh, thank you so much, and Anna. You radiate and it penetrates the hearts, minds, and souls, says Valerie. You know, you have to be amazing people to be able to say that. And we are just blessed to have so many amazing people around. Yes, Ene, thank you so much for starting so much. You are the queen of storytelling. He is indeed high and amazing. Thank you very, very much. Let me thank the people who've been attending, who've been interacting with us. First and foremost, it's been such a pleasure. Please come back and do the same in 2 weeks on the 30th of the month when Nadia will be greeting another amazing person. Wait and see. You will find out who that is. But today, I just want to give from the bottom of my heart. And by thanking you, I want to thank my brother as well for introducing me to you and your children that I look forward to knowing. And my children are in New York, and we'll see how the connections go. And Valerie has a beautiful boy, and Sylvie also over there. And all of these are just our mentors. So yeah, thank you, Ene, for being here. And a couple more comments before I leave you with the last word. So many comments. Thank you. A wonderful interview today. Wow, not a word of lie spoken. Ene is awesome. Thank you very much. Your name is I
Bims.
am
I'm
Coach Bims. Okay. So following you, Coach Bim, and other people, thank you so much. Please follow Ene as well. Those of you who are Ene, just if you do Ene, Ene Obi, you'll get to her page, which is the name of her company. And please follow her as well. Like energy attracts like energy, absolutely. Awesome interview. Thank you so much. Thank you, Tisu. Thank you very, very much. Tisu is actually, I think, she travels so much, but I think
wow.
she's in the Republic of Guinea right now. So we saw her a few weeks ago. It's so good to see you all. Ene, you are an amazing shining star. Thank you very much for the time and for
Thank
sharing
you so
beautiful
much. Yeah,
stories with
thank you. It's
us.
been an absolute pleasure being here. Can I just say to everyone who has been so wonderful in the comments section, amazing comments. First of all, thank you. But I also want to say that we only recognize and appreciate what we have in us. So you literally are what you see. And so I send it right back to you. Thank you all so, so much. Thank you. Peace and blessings.
Peace and blessings.
Bye. Bye-bye. Bye,
Bye
everyone.
for
Bye.
now.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.